I guess it's 9 o'clock, so let's get started. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to hear about KiVa anti-bullying program. My name is Tiina Turunen. I'm a senior researcher at the University of Turku. I mostly do research, but on top of that, I also train teachers about the KiVa program.
Yes, and my name is... Oh, I have a loud voice as well. Is this okay now for you? My name is Virpi Pöyhönen, and I also come from University of Turku, and I also work as a senior researcher. I've been with KiVa since the beginning, so I started 2006 developing the materials when I started my PhD at the same time. At the moment, unlike Tiina, I do less research, and I work quite a bit with schools and helping them to implement KiVa and training their teachers and so on. So welcome from my behalf as well.
Just a little bit before we get started, I would like to know who's present. So which ones of you are researchers? Just raise your hand. Okay, and and practitioners, so teachers or working in schools? Yeah, nice. So we have about
really nice
half and
combo.
half. Yes,
Yeah.
that's so nice. Has anyone used KiVa program in their work? Okay, so someone. So for most of you, it's hopefully new stuff. Because today we are really going to introduce the KiVa program in brief. We are not going to go very much into details since 25 minutes is a really short workshop. So mainly we will be answering this what question. What is KiVa all about? But between the lines, hopefully you will hear or find some answers to these why and how questions. If not, please ask. We are prepared to answer any questions about KiVa, even research related if those come to your mind today. So, but let's leave the questions to the end. So we try first to go through the content and introduce KiVa, and then please think if you come up with any questions while we are talking. If there's something really urgent, you can also interrupt us and ask in between, but mostly let's leave the questions to the end. So KiVa anti-bullying program is a school-based program for bullying prevention and intervention. I'm sure most of you have at least heard about KiVa before. It was developed at the University of Turku, and like Virpi said, for example, she was part of the developing of the program, but the leaders of the program were Professor Kristiina Salmivalli and senior researcher Elisa Poskiparta, but they had a big group of people developing the program with them. They got funding from the Finnish Ministry of Education and Culture back at that time, so 2006. 2007 was the time when the first RCT started in Finland.
And 2009 was the larger implementation.
Yeah, so
phase.
2009, all schools in Finland were provided or given a chance to take KiVa to their curriculum. At the moment in Finland, KiVa is used by about a little less than 1,000 schools, providing comprehensive education, so elementary and middle schools, grades 1 to 9, so children between 7 and 15 years of age. And now KiVa is also implemented in several other countries as well. Here's a map. We were hoping that this is the most recent map, I think so.
Yeah.
So KiVa partners around the world.
And you can see Sweden there as well, so we come back to that a bit at the end.
Yeah.
Yes, I go to background of KiVa. So the main goals of KiVa are to prevent, reduce and minimize the consequences of bullying. So we talk about peer-to-peer bullying, as you all know. We also probably are all familiar that bullying is a group phenomena. KiVa is strongly based on Kristiina Salmivalli's work with bullying being a group process. We can find several different roles, and maybe the main point here is that there are quite many... Does this work? No. Quite many students who act on the behalf of the bully instead of defending and helping the victim. We can also find quite large group of outsiders or bystanders, students who don't respond to situation, but they remain passive. So what this tells is that we can't only focus into individuals, we need to take into account larger group as well. But also, I will go into a bit more details with this, but in order to reduce bullying, we don't need to change the victim. So by influencing the behavior of bystanders and rewards gained by bullying, and consequently the motivation to bully, we can prevent bullying. So I'm talking about changing the group norms, influencing the dynamics of the group. Moreover, of course, victims need to feel that they are heard and helped and safe at school. Also, bullies need to be confronted for their behavior, and what we think, and at least I think, is that tackling cases of bullying, influencing the bully, confronting the bully is also helping the person, the student who is bullying, from the further consequences of using aggression as a tool. So, anti-bullying program needs to include something for all the students. We call them universal actions, preventive actions. It also needs to include something for bullies and victims in particular. So those we call indicated actions. So when bullying case comes into attention of school adults. We know from recent meta-analyses that anti-bullying programs that utilize the whole school approach and include both universal and indicated actions are effective in reducing bullying. So, as you can see, we have here a picture with different parts, different components of KiVa. So KiVa is a multi-component program. You have maybe been into some symposiums or workshops talking about the implementation. Here you can see different parts which need to be implemented. So over here you can see universal actions. We will go into more details into student lessons and a little bit about the games. We also have materials for parents, so information, letters, parent night materials to inform the parents and have a common definition about bullying. For parents also there is a booklet, information, and so on. Indicated actions, we will also go into more details. There is clear guidelines for tackling bullying. But also important tool for schools is monitoring. So we have annual surveys for both students and the staff for school to monitor the situation. And now I hand over to Tiina.
Yes, thanks. So a little bit about the universal actions. As Virpi mentioned, universal actions of KiVa include the student lessons, but also other types of materials, so online games and so on. Oh, it's really running by itself. But in general, main goals of all these universal actions is to increase awareness in school. So first, to increase awareness about bullying and the role group plays in it, so these group processes that Virpi was just talking about. To increase empathy, so that's the second goal. To practice strategies to help and support victims, so really practice defending. And then to motivate everyone to change their behavior. So the main point is that this is everyone's task. So everyone can change their behavior. Everyone has a role in helping everyone feel better in a group. So KiVa and the universal actions are all about including everyone, all the students, all the teachers, all the other members of the staff of the school. So everyone needs to be on board. The student lessons are, now I forgot the word. There are 3 different age levels that the student lessons are meant for. So for primary school in Finland, grades 1 to 6, there are 2 targeted age groups. So first graders, the material is planned so that it can be used with children around 7 to 9 years old. So in Finland, children are 7 when they start school, and the material is targeted right to the beginning of the school. And the second unit, Unit 2, is for grades 4 to 6, and the target grade in Finland is grade 4. These elementary school materials consist of 10 double lessons, so 2 times 45 minutes. That's again the length of a lesson in Finland. When the material is transferred or translated to a new country, all this will be adjusted to the curriculum of that country. Then the Unit 3 is meant for middle school. So in Finland, it's again grade 7 when the middle school starts, and it's a bit differently structured material. It consists of 4 themes, so not really student lessons as in elementary school, but these themes. But in the KiVa manual, I will show the topics a bit later, but we also have nowadays lesson plans for middle school. So Unit 1, so this was the first graders, or first to third graders. There are 10 double lessons. They start about forming a group, being together, get to know each other, social emotional skills, learning, forming a group, and then on lesson 5, bullying is introduced. So we think that it is really important to, on top of making children feel like they belong into the same group and it's safe, but really to talk about bullying. Talk what bullying is, talk about the definition, talk about everyone's role in it, talk about defending, and talk about assertiveness. So really what to do. And in the end, after the whole school year, KiVa contract will be made. So children and the adults together agree that we have this contract that we do not bully. Unit 2 lessons are a bit similar. Bullying is introduced a lot sooner, so already on the 3rd lesson. But the topics are quite similar, just adjusted to the age of the children. And the Unit 3 themes, so like I said, 4 themes. Again, the topics are quite similar, and the teacher manuals of KiVa include these lesson plans. And there's again these group processes being together and then really talking about bullying. So not avoid the word bullying, but just raise the cat up to the table and talk about it. On all these teacher manuals, there are several ways that all these topics are introduced. So there are instructions and materials for group discussions, booklet assignments, films, games, and then these learning by doing activities. So we think that, at least in Finland, we have discussed a lot with schools and teachers and really think that there is something for everyone. There's so much material that it might be impossible to use everything on one single school year, but there is a lot to choose from. Then on top of the student lessons, we have online games that are connected to the student lessons, but can be used either in connection with the student lessons or maybe on those school years that the targeted student lessons are not meant for. So KiVa Game 1 is for Unit 1, KiVa Game 2 is for Unit 2, and then KiVa Street for middle school, so for Unit 3. The idea is that the material supports the information learned on the lessons, rehearse those skills that have been learned, and then a lot of additional material. And also kind of given in a way that seems to be motivating to children, so these computer online games. And the newest addition to the KiVa program is Pulmikas game, which is meant to practice and discuss these issues together with the children within the lessons. So it is like a interactive, partly mobile game where students form small groups, and with their mobile phones they participate in this game, and the idea is to encourage them to discuss and discuss these topics together with the teacher.
Yes, and I will go through these quite quickly so we have a little bit time for discussion. I still want to be very clear with this, that when Tiina says that the bullying is taught during the universal actions, the student lessons, of course individual cases of bullying are not tackled with the whole school. So when the case of bullying comes into attention of school personnel, there is a team, KiVa team, formed by 3 adults of the school, and this team tackles all the bullying cases within the school and also document those cases. What actually happens is this. All the discussions are very short, so this is not a heavy 1 hour per moment procedure. But first, the adult who gets the information about bullying fills a form, decides whether this is bullying, whether it's repeated intentional harm, and there is a power imbalance. If it's yes, then it goes to the KiVa team. First, the team discusses with the bullied student in order to still find out what has happened and the student feel comfortable and safe and supported. After that, the team meets all the bullies, usually there are several in these cases, individually. And the aim of this discussion is to change the behavior, not to continue this bullying behavior. After that, all the students who bully are still met with the team in a group in order for them to tell in front of each other and the adults what they have promised, what they have said that they will engage into. Already in this discussion, it's said that we will follow this, we will meet again after 1 or 2 weeks. The students already know when, so they know that the adults monitor the situation carefully. And after 1-2 weeks, there is first follow-up discussion with the victim. Has the situation changed? How are you? And after that, there is follow-up discussion with the bullies. Them go there together. Victim is allowed if he or she wants, but this is only if that's the case, because we want the victim to feel safe. We know that it's important for the teachers to have clear procedure for these discussions, and also we know that the follow-up discussion is actually really something what matters. There was a recent article by Erika Johander and colleagues, if you want to look that more in detail. So this is what happens here. Shortly about monitoring, staff and the students fill annual surveys. Schools get feedback from both. In the student survey, they get feedback about bullying and victimization, school climate, also how students feel about what students feel about their teachers' attitudes about bullying and their anti-bullying actions. We know that teachers' attitudes matter. We know that how students see teachers' attitudes and anti-bullying behavior matters. So schools get annual feedback about that. They also get trend data when they feel it in several years. And staff survey is more about implementation. Are the universal actions implemented? Is the KiVa team there? Do they have they tackled bullying cases and so on? 25 minutes, by the way, is really short time, but we are at the end. Tiina has few words, and then we have a little bit time.
Yes, we decided not to include a lot of research into this workshop, but this is what we still wanted to show. So this is data from Finland, from the annual survey. On the left side, there is victimization or victimized students. On the right side, there are students who bully others. And then starting from all the left, there's year 2009, which was the first year of nationwide implementation in Finland, and 2021, so this year is the last column. It shows the prevalence of bullying, victimization and bullying in Finland. And we see this. We see that the reductions seemed really to be largest after the first year of implementation, but since then, steadily, it has declined. There are some kind of even spots, but really the trend seems to be that bullying in KiVa schools that reply the annual survey is going down. And then finally, we want to introduce Magelungen, which is the KiVa partner in Sweden. So the licensed KiVa partner that can be contacted in case you would like to get KiVa to your school, or if you have any other questions about KiVa in Sweden. So Magelungen is a company we just checked with Virpi where they are located, so here in Stockholm.
Södermalm.
Yes, and they have some schools, but then they also, since they are our KiVa partner in Sweden, they train teachers, they provide the manuals, and then there is, maybe it's a little bit difficult to see,
but there you can see
Peter's email address, but unfortunately he could not be here today, but he said that all the questions are really welcome, and you're welcome to contact him in case you want more information.
And now I think all your questions, or not maybe all, but your questions or comments are very, very welcome. So please, if you have anything on mind.
There's still the internet address of the KiVa program, so kivaprogram.net is the international KiVa website. There's a lot more information there and contact details to our KiVa international team. And yeah, we are ready to answer your questions.
Thank you. If a school wanted to become a KiVa partner, what would be the steps to become one? How long would it take, and what does the school need to provide? I mean, could any school just become a partner, or?
Actually, how it works is that we have licensed partners who have several schools. So, for instance, if your school wants to have KiVa, then you would contact Peter, because they are our licensed partner here in Sweden. So it sort of goes in kind of steps. Did I answer your question?
That's all. You just contact and then.
And then you will see how the procedure is here,
Okay.
how they have arranged it. It varies a little bit by country.
Okay. Do you know anything about Switzerland? Do they have it?
Oh, I don't remember Switzerland, I have to say, but maybe actually I just for some reason assumed that you're from Sweden, then I would maybe contact the KiVa International.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
that would be KiVa program, kiva@kivaprogram.net. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if you can say anything about when you have the individual talks with the bullies, what is the content in that discussion or talk? Can you elaborate?
Yes, I can shortly elaborate. School are advised to use, they have two different ways to discuss. So the other is more confronting method, more direct, this is bullying, we need it to stop. And other is more the shared concern type of discussion. So we know that bad things have happened to Tiina and evoking the kind of guilt and not talking so directly about bullying. Schools can choose which one they use. Actually, at the moment, I've understood that they mix a lot, and that's fine as well. But we have Erika's research showed that it's important that they know what they're doing and they follow either of these procedures or mix, but then they have to know that they are mixing.
Yeah, we are actually about to publish some new results that say that mixing might actually be even the best choice, but I guess the important thing is to be systematic and that everyone knows, and also the students knows that this is what the procedure is in the school.
And the parents know.
And the parents,
That's
yeah.
really important for the parents to know how it goes as well. We have to thank you and finish. And but we're here if you have any further questions. We're really, really happy to discuss. Thank you so much.
Thank you.